What's up, my friends? Welcome. I'm Alexandra, founder of Life with Herpes. Ooh, it's still hot. Okay. Welcome. My name's Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I've been talking publicly about my diagnosis since 2017. I was diagnosed with HSV1 in 2003. HSV1 in 2003 and HSV2 in 2011. Been living with it for decades, and it wasn't until 2017 when I realized this is something I really need to open up about and something I need to discuss, because when I was diagnosed with HSV2 in 2011, it was so debilitating, suffocating, isolating, scary. You're just left going, what do I do and how do I get through it? So that is why I'm here. That is why we're talking. That is why we are public about it. And that is, or at least I'm public about it and here to support you through your diagnosis. So I am going to go ahead and tap the screen just to say thank you for joining me and spending your morning. Well, it could be afternoon for you. It could be evening. I don't know. But spending, in my case, I'm on Pacific time. So thank you for joining me this morning, where we are going to talk about herpes. So if you are new to one of my lives, this is your opportunity to ask your questions. I ask them in the order in which they are received. So if you're like, why haven't you answered my question? It's probably because I haven't received it yet. Also, this app likes to, for the public safety of the community, remove questions. So you need to ask them in rated G, okay? They need to be very, very G rated, like as if you're writing it for a child. So otherwise they will get removed. Anyways, okay, I'm trying to think what else. Yes, I do my best to answer the question in the orders in which they are received. If you do not have herpes, if you are like, what are we talking about? If you know someone that has herpes, please share this information with them. Like I said, I have been talking publicly about this since 2017, and it's my mission, it is my purpose to get the information out so that people are not feeling so isolated. So please share this with somebody that you know that needs to hear this. Also, I appreciate the follows. I appreciate the likes. So thank you. All right, let me get through the questions and see what you guys have been asking as I am scrolling. All right, one of the things I get asked a lot today, I was on a podcast this morning and someone's like, yeah, but there's oral herpes and genital herpes and they're not the same. Okay, so let's clarify because this is kind of confusing. The locations are not the same. So oral herpes is oral herpes. If you have it on your mouth, it's oral, right? If you have it genitally, it is genital, right? So that's that. But HSV1 can be oral and HSV1 can be genital. HSV2 can be oral and HSV2 can be genital. So the location of the virus can change based on where you're infected. Now, let's say you have HSV1 oral. It's not going to like go through your body and pop up genitally. If you have it orally, you have it orally. If you have it genitally, you have it genitally. It's not going to like hop around. It's not a puddle jumper. Okay? But just because, so a lot of times people will go and get tested and not knowing they're getting tested, their doctor will just do a blood test on them and pull HSV, and they're like, oh, you have HSV1. Oh, okay. Do not assume that HSV1 is oral. HSV1 is just as common to be genital. So you can have it oral or genital. You can have it either location. Guys, I am hot right now. It was cold. I just took a hot shower and I put on, mohair, and now I'm hot. Ugh. Anyways, not that has anything to do with what we're talking about. Okay, so let me get to your questions. Like I said, I answer the questions in the order in which they are received. So if I haven't gotten to your question, just hold tight. I will get there. You're saying you just bought the Lysine coconut combo. You can't wait to try it. That is awesome. So that is awesome. Okay, so for those of you like, what are we talking about? I talk a lot about monolaurin and I talk a lot about Lysine. So let me break that down for y'all. We have lysine. This is an essential amino acid. It's a protein that helps block the replication of the herpes virus. This is a non-negotiable for me, and I take this daily. I have noticed that it's helped with prodrome. I've noticed it's helped with the tingles. I've noticed it helps with keeping outbreaks at bay. I've noticed that it has helped with potentially speeding up recovery. So this is something I take daily. Monolaurin is lauric acid. But we call it monolaurin. I don't know why. Anyways, it helps dissolve the outer layer of enveloped viruses. Enveloped viruses, think of like an envelope, or think of a shell, or think of like this. It has a casing around it. Our immune system cannot penetrate, I guess, or break through, but cannot penetrate enveloped viruses. So basically the virus is in charge. We're not. So monolaurin helps disrupt the outer layer of an enveloped virus, which then allows our immune system to go in and penetrate it. So these two can be taken together. You can take them. So they're very helpful in dealing with HSV and dealing with herpes. The third thing I take that's non-negotiable in my life is angiographism. So these are the supplements that I take that help me fight my outbreaks. They're all linked for you in the bio. You can check them out. You get a discount. They're non-negotiables. Back to the initial question, someone saying you got the lysine and coconut combo. So if you want, you can buy the lysine monolaurin combo, which basically packs it into one pill opposed to taking separate pills. So you can also get this as well. So lots of great things. Okay, is there a link between HSV1 and EBV, Epstein-Barr virus? So yes, so to be honest, I'm not that much of an expert in other viruses. Epstein-Barr is a herpes virus. It is what causes mono. So herpes, what we know is like genital herpes or oral herpes, mono, and chickenpox are all herpes viruses. They're all cousins. What I do know about herpes viruses is they are pretty aggressive and they're pretty smart. They're pretty, they show up, they manifest, then they kind of do their little dormancy thing, and then they pop up when you're stressed. So Epstein-Barr, which is mono, when your body is stressed, it can pop up throughout your life. Again, I've not personally had mono. I don't have Epstein-Barr, so I don't know about that one, but I do know that they are cousins, and I do know that they can cause, they like to pop up when you're stressed. I do have a podcast coming out. It should be tomorrow. Definitely check. You can go to lifewithherpes.com and check for my most recent podcast, or if you follow me on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you follow me. It's with Coach Sarah Joy, who is an expert in these viruses that also have to do with our thyroid. And she talks about what the viruses do in our bodies. So you might want to tune into that one. Also, you can follow her, Coach Sarah Joy, on Instagram if you have specific questions, because she is an expert in Epstein-Barr, with herpes, with chickenpox, and all of that. How much lysine daily? So the daily recommended is 1,000 milligrams, I believe, on here. And so you can take that. I have taken more. I'm not suggesting you take more. I have taken more when I have an outbreak, but on here it's 1,000 milligrams that it is recommended. Okay. Blood work came back positive for HSV3, but I have never shown any symptoms from it. Do you mean HSV2? Or HSV1 or 2. So that's very common for people to get positive results. I was talking about that earlier. It's very common for people to get positive results and like say, I've never had an outbreak. I don't know why this happened. I don't know how this showed up. How long have I had it? And the thing is, you're not going to know how long you had it. You're not going to know where you got it from. If you're testing positive on a blood test, it means that you have the antibodies for it. It means that you've been exposed to it. Your body picked it up somewhere along the way, and now your body's created antibodies for it. So I have this happen a lot. There's people in the Secret Society, which is our online community, that have said, yeah, I didn't know I had it. I went to donate blood, and all of a sudden my blood came back positive for HSV2. Okay, thought nothing of it until years later, people get their initial outbreaks. So, okay, will these help? I think you're referring to the supplements. Yes, the supplements are very helpful. Like I said, they're non-negotiable for me. There's also some topical things that we have. In fact, we just launched the brand new Herpes Fix-It salve. We've been formulating it for a long time. What I love about this salve that's different from the other products is this salve contains Manuka honey, which is very unique. Manuka honey is honey that comes directly from Australia, New Zealand area from specific trees, which are Manuka trees. And it is the most potent type of honey. It has so many healing benefits of anti-inflammatory, wound repair, all sorts of things. So I have used it. It is awesome. So we do have that. It's pre-sale. It should ship this next week. So if you want to check out our Manuka honey, you can use it topically. If you don't have herpes, you can also use it other places. Like I was using it on my crow's feet. I got a blister on my foot from wearing shoes all over London, and the blister went away overnight. So many great things. But we also have our own personal line of products, the Secret Society wellness products. And a lot of these were formulated over a year. They are professionally formulated, and they have ingredients in them that can help with the pain, and they can also help calm down, chill out. We have recovery soak. We have the rescue balm. This is specifically to put down there genitally. Lots of things to use topical if that is where you want to go. This is something I can't live without that I use every single day. The Lifesaver SPF lip balm. If you have oral herpes, that is awesome. Okay, so somebody says HSV2 positive, never once had gotten an outbreak or had any symptoms of it. So hopefully, Cassandra, you'll stay not getting outbreaks. Hopefully you'll stay not having any symptoms, and that's awesome. It is something that you still have to disclose because you have it, and you would need to disclose because you still can transmit it. However, the fact that you're not getting outbreaks is awesome. It's been a year since you have found out and your herpes, and let me tell you, it's a process, but I'm happy. I'm so glad to hear that, Asia. I'm glad that you are going through the healing process, going through what I like to call the Eeyore process. I was Eeyore for 2 years. I was down and out. I was a rainy cloud. I was in a dark space, and for 2 years. And so I'm really glad that you're able to be in a happy spot. If you are just diagnosed with herpes, what I would suggest and what I wish there was this, right? I wish this existed for me when I was first diagnosed. I was alone, I was in the dark, and it was very scary. So that's why I created Life with Herpes. One of the things I'd recommend doing is educating yourself, which is what you all are doing right now while you're live. So educate yourself, and then I would find a community. So obviously I have a community. That's why I created a community. There's other communities out there. I think mine is obviously the best, but find a community that resonates with you and just continue to educate yourself on it. Do you have a podcast? I do. It's called Life with Herpes. Oh, someone just got the #1 gifter bag. What's up? What's up, all things attached? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you, by the way, I love seeing the arrow, which is the share. I love seeing the shares. I love seeing the hearts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As well as the follows. So if you are new to me, that sounded funny, but if you're new to Life with Herpes, absolutely follow. I go live as often as possible, as well as I post daily. So I am here sharing what my life is like. I'm answering questions, as well as if you don't have herpes and you know someone that needs to hear this information, please share this information with them. Please share my live or my whatever. Share this. Would you know why outbreaks come around the same exact time monthly? Yes, I'm sorry. So we have our hormones fluctuate as females. So they fluctuate when we ovulate, and they fluctuate when we're during menstruation. What we need to realize is for our bodies, the two most important times, or the most important thing for our bodies during childbearing years is childbearing, is getting pregnant, is focusing on that. So either when we're ovulating or when we're on our period, it's when all of our energy, our body's energy, our immune system, everything is going to this. All right, do we have a baby? Do we have this? Are we going to get, what's going on? We're going to focus on this. So when the hormones fluctuate, a lot of times that is what causes outbreaks for women. I didn't realize that power when I first had herpes, but I will get it I'm not so much around my period. I'm more around ovulation for me, for me personally. But for a lot of women, it's on their period or right after their period. You just have to realize that your body is focusing on pregnancy. It's focusing on reproduction. And so this gives the herpes virus an opportunity to pop up. Some of the things that you can do if this is you and you're knowing that you're like, hey, I get outbreaks either when I ovulate or when I'm on my period, you can either take extra supplements that we talked about here. You can say, you know what, I need to take care of my body. Maybe you want to take an Epsom salt bath and kind of chill out. This helps with calm your nervous system. So use that as an opportunity to take care of yourself. Maybe you don't take the antivirals daily, but you're like, during this time I do because it helps me with my outbreaks. Maybe you up your lysine amount. Maybe you up your monolaurin. Maybe you up your vitamin C. Maybe you up your zinc. Maybe you just do things a little differently to help counteract naturally your outbreaks. Maybe you go, oh, this food kind of triggers it. When I'm on my period, you know what? I'll stay away from this food. So there's a lot of things that you could potentially do. Z saying, you just found out. I'm so sorry that you just found out. Obviously, a lot of people here know exactly how you feel. I'm going to send you some love with the heart. So I'm really glad that you are taking the initiative, and I'm glad that you're here educating yourself on this information. How many outbreaks do you get a year? So everybody's going to be different. Some people will get one. Some people will get, one every other week. Some people will get one after the other. It just depends on what your body's doing, and it depends on how you are, how you're also taking care of yourself. So I would wait and see what happens, and I'd wait and see what your body does in order to, before you decide to make any changes or go on like a daily prophylactic. What are your thoughts on Acyclovir? So Acyclovir is an antiviral. And it is the generic. The branded is Valtrex. There's also Acyclovir. These are drugs you can be prescribed to by your doctor, or at least in the United States, you're prescribed to by your doctor, and you can take it daily to help prevent outbreaks. You also can take it daily to help prevent transmission to a partner. You don't have to take it daily. You can take it just when you have outbreaks. My personal thoughts, I was on Acyclovir for 3 years straight. I then got off of it in my early 30s, and it's something that I have decided I don't want to be on at this point in my life. I don't want to take antiviral. I don't want to take anything I don't need to take. I don't want to take any prescription drugs or anything that I don't need. I am all about supplementing and minerals and other nutrients, healthy diet, trying to help improve my body that way. However, if taking the antiviral is something you want, absolutely, that's going to be great if that's what you want to do. Rebecca is saying she has an IUD and you don't get periods. Would you recommend an OVU test? I heard OB happen a lot during. I lost you. So I think that's an ovulation test. Are you getting outbreaks during, like you're getting them randomly and you're thinking maybe you're ovulating, or if you want to know maybe but here's the thing, the IUD, I think it's like Mirena is maybe what it's called. I can't remember now. I'm not as like up on my birth controls. The IUD that has the hormones on it is going to also impact your hormones. So it's not going to be as accurate as say a female that's not on any hormones. So if you're on birth control and things like that, that can kind of like impact it's going to give you a different reading, I guess is what I'm saying, if that's triggering your outbreaks or not. I've talked to females that were not on birth control and they went on birth control and it caused outbreaks during ovulation or period. I've talked to women that were on birth control and they had outbreaks, they got off of it, they stopped. So every woman is going to be a little bit different. My friend just had a baby and she also has HSV too. You just have to take precautions. Yes, I have a 3-year-old. I was able to have him vaginally. You just have to be really upfront with your doctor and let your doctor know what your plans are, how often you're having outbreaks. Most likely your doctor is going to prescribe to you the antiviral, towards the last few weeks of your pregnancy in order to prevent that transmission to your child. My little boy is perfectly healthy. Okay. Excuse me. Wow, okay. Okay, we summed up. It's the ovulation test. How long is the shelf life for these supplements? That's a good question. So, this one was made in 2023 and this one expires in 26. So the shelf life is pretty long. Those are for supplements. I don't know what the shelf life is for the prescription drug. So that's a good question. It would probably be on the prescription bottle when it expires, or ask the pharmacist when you get it picked up. What's an ovulation test? I've never heard of that. So I'm not an ovulation specialist. I'm not a pregnancy specialist. An ovulation test is something that you can take. I believe you pee on a stick and it checks your levels. So it'll know if you are ovulating or not based on your hormone levels. So you would know when it's something that a lot of women will use when they're trying to get pregnant, so they know when they're ovulating. Kenny, you're waiting on your results back after having your first outbreak. I'm so sorry. Let's give Kenny some love, you guys. For those of us that have herpes and have had it for a while, Kenny, we totally understand what you're going through. That waiting game, it's like you have an outbreak, you have herpes, but you still haven't gotten the active test results. So I'm going to send you some hearts and give you some love. So thank you for being here. And I understand exactly what you're going through, and so do the other people on this call. Honestly, these types of podcasts and social presence did help tremendously. That is great to hear. I'm glad that this has helped, this online presence, also the podcasts and things like that. People, when I started this in 2017, people were not talking about it. I was the only one out there talking about it. And now people have started to talk about it. And I think that it's very, very beneficial for the new upcomers that are being diagnosed. Does shedding happen after or before your cold sore heals? I wouldn't necessarily say shedding happens, but the viral DNA is active when you have an active cold sore. So that's when you would be most contagious. So a lot of times right before you have, it's when the symptoms are there and you don't have an outbreak, you're contagious then as well. Yeah, there's most of the shedding. So most people, when we shed, we're asymptomatic. We don't know what's happening. Most of the people with herpes are asymptomatic, meaning they have no symptoms. Like someone else on this live was like, I just got my test results back. I've never had an outbreak. I've never had any symptoms. How is this possible? Most people are asymptomatic. What do outbreaks look like? So they can look differently for different people. They can be like one blister. It can be one blister that kind of goes into a cluster. That they all kind of form together to make one really big blister, or it can be a paper cut that's so thin and you don't even know it's there. Well, you know it's there, but it's just a little paper cut. So it can look different for different people. It can look like an ingrown hair. It can look like, I don't really know what jock itch looks like. It can look like just a bump. It's typically fluid filled, but I've also talked to other people that have said they haven't experienced a fluid filled looking blister. So everybody's going to have kind of a little bit different thing. How I know it's herpes opposed to something else is the pain. It lives in our nerves and the pain is there. Do you ever see connections between flare-ups with eating peanuts and hummus? Yes. So a lot of people, not so much hummus, but yes, garbanzo beans can be pretty inflammatory for herpes outbreaks. They're high in arginine. People have said they do get outbreaks if they eat too much hummus, but peanuts specifically are very high in arginine, and I think in general we're allergic to peanut. A lot of people are allergic to peanuts. Maybe not like the allergic reaction that we think of where we need the EpiPen, but it might be a little disruption in our body, and so it does cause a lot of outbreaks for a lot of people. You're saying that you've had it for a long time. Why is it that my partner has not shown any symptoms either? You're so lost. Your partner may not have it. Your partner may not have herpes, and so you know, like if you may either your partner doesn't have it or your partner hasn't shown any symptoms, meaning because your partner is asymptomatic. Is this only for women? No, this is not for women. This is everybody is welcome, men and women. What helps with HSV1 down there? Do outbreaks lessen over time? So for whatever reason, people that have HSV1 genitally, they do not have as many outbreaks as people that have HSV2 genitally. I don't know why. Nobody really knows why. But for whatever reason, the virus doesn't manifest as often. Yes, most people that have herpes, their outbreaks will lessen over time, meaning they won't have as many outbreaks or they won't be as severe. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap the screen and thank you guys that have been joining me right now. Okay, Erica is saying you get outbreaks every other week and you just got it. What do I do? Okay. So that seems like the virus is like basically taking over. It's in charge. It's like, hey, I'm in charge. And here, hold my beer is basically what it's saying to your immune system. I was exactly like that as well. I started making little changes every single day to research, which is what you're doing here, and to improve my immune system. Some things for you to look at is what's going on with your immune system. Do you feel like you have a strong immune system or a weak immune system? I would do what you can to improve your immune health. Potentially talk to somebody about supplements, potentially talk to a doctor about like a naturopath or somebody that specializes in immune system and gut health. I would look at other things, like I started doing acupuncture. I started cutting out certain foods in my diet that I know are not good, aka sugar. We all know sugar fuels disease. There's no way around that, right? So I cut out sugar, I took out gluten, I did those things. I cut out dairy, and little by little, I made those changes. If you're getting back-to-back outbreaks, definitely look at taking some supplements. So look into, ask your doctor if you want to. But the lysine is going to be really helpful. Monolaurin is going to be really helpful, and angiographis is also going to be really, really helpful when we're talking about supporting our immune health. These are all linked for you if you want to check them out. But these are going to be really helpful for herpes as well as your immune system, as well as working together as a team to help with your getting those outbreaks under control. Someone, let's see, wondering if you need to take outbreaks. Wondering if you need to take it consistently or just during active outbreaks. Are you talking about the prescribed medication? So some people take it daily if they're having out of control outbreaks or they feel more comfortable, and other people just take it when they have outbreaks. So it's going to be up to you. Do you need to take the medication all of your life? So where you will have herpes for life, it doesn't go away. We can't rid our bodies of viruses. You will have herpes for the rest of your life. Awesome. But ideally, your body, your immune system will take over and you will not be having outbreaks as often. So where some people may take the medication for life, most people do not. What are your thoughts about blood tests? Never experienced any outbreaks, but positive blood tests. So if you are testing positive on an IgG, basically looking for the antibodies in your body, then you have herpes. And it's people are like, well, is there a false positive? I'm like, it's not. It's easier to get a false negative than it is to get a false positive. It's pretty difficult. If you have the antibodies, it's gonna pick it up. Oh, Rebecca, you're saying for your IUD, it's a brand of Marina, my first outbreak, and I'm now for the future. So you'll just have to see what your body does and if it causes outbreaks or what's going on. Oh no. Okay, you don't understand why there is a massive stigma. It's just a skin condition that flares up. Absolutely. It is so frustrating to see that there's such a huge stigma about it. I was part of it. I'm sure all of us have been part of it when it's like, ew, gross, herpes. Like, of course I was that way before I had herpes. It was terrifying. I didn't want it. But when we start to look at it, we realize that it is just a skin disease that the majority of the population has, and we're making such a big deal out of it. How do you not give it to your partner? I was just talking about this online on a podcast. Number one is communication. Communicate to your partner. Let your partner know you have herpes. Let your partner know that you have prodrome. Let your partner know that maybe you have symptoms. Maybe let your partner know that maybe like, oh, I have some tingles. Let's not do it. So communication is number one. Number two, you can use a condom that protects your partner between 30 and 50% of the time. That's because the condom doesn't always cover the area. Number three, you can take the antiviral. It lessens the transmission between about 48%. Excuse me, I have to take a sip. And then finally, the best way to prevent not the best, but all of these are the best way to prevent your partner is potentially taking natural supplements like lysine, like arginine. No, not arginine. Lysine, monolaurin, and angiographis. These are all going to be extremely helpful in naturally preventing transmission to your partner. So when we do all of those things together, it can help prevent transmission. I would say if you want to do the best way, the safest way would be take the antiviral and use a condom. That's going to be like the best way. Can you still transmit it? Yes. Does it lower it significantly? It does. Can your partner get herpes even if you don't have an outbreak? Unfortunately, we have this thing called viral shedding, and yes, we can unfortunately transmit the virus unknowingly when we have either if we have some symptoms or if we're asymptomatically shedding. Can you have it and not know? Yes, 90% of the population has herpes and genital herpes. Excuse me. Let me say that again. 90% of the people with genital herpes will never know that they have it. They'll never be diagnosed. Yay, I see people sending Kenny, who's waiting for his test results, some love. I appreciate that, guys. Let's just do hearts for everybody here because it truly, you guys are awesome and you guys are part of the fighters here and you guys are educating yourself and you guys are part of a little army that is breaking the stigma. So I want to thank you and I'm grateful. Oh, look at that big heart. I've never seen one of those. That was cool. So thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Can frequencies be the cure to cold sores? Potentially. I'm not sure. You mean like electromagnetic frequencies? Is that what you're talking about? Or like the sound frequencies? I have zero doubt that they are. I have zero doubt that if you get on the right frequency, like if you wear the right frequency clothes, if you wear cotton, if you wear linen, it's actually linen, I think you're at a different frequency there. So there's so many things that can help with that. Is it common for males to be asymptomatic more than women? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, more women have herpes than men, but I think that males may have symptoms. This is just my thought. Males may have symptoms, but may not be as in tune to women. Obviously, I am a female. I'm not a male. I don't know what males are like, but just in general, females are just more in tune to everything. Karen saying it hit you like a train when you found out. Absolutely. Me as well. Is it possible to go our whole life without an outbreak? It is. A lot of people do. My friend got it on her neck. She went to doctors panicking, and the doctor said it's nothing to worry about. Well, that's good. Yes, some herpes triggers can be caffeine, can be chocolate, can be nuts, can be peanuts, can be coconut milk, coconut meat, sugar, refined like processed foods. Any of those things can absolutely bring it on. Yes, our first outbreak is typically the worst. What's a good medicine to take? I'm not a doctor, so I cannot prescribe, but if you want to take a prescription drug, definitely talk to your doctor, and you can take the Valtrex, Acyclovir, Acyclovir, and that can help with the antiviral. Or if you want to go more natural, you can take Lysine, monolaurin, angiographisc. These are all supplements that are known to specifically help with the herpes outbreaks. They're all linked for you. I've talked about it before. They're all linked for you, and these are all really helpful. So these are some natural things to take as well. But of course, talk to your doctor if you have questions. Are you more acne prone on your face when you first get it? No, but I would say that potentially there are things going on in your body that's causing you to have acne. Acne is a result of like an imbalance in your body. I had awful acne when I got herpes, and I went to acupuncture, and according to Chinese medicine, I had all of the, like, it was all damp heat in my body. So I had acne, I had yeast infections, and I had herpes, and they're all caused by damp heat in your body. I have 2 bottles not open. I know, I just keep them in my drawer for examples. I have a lot of stuff in here. I can show you guys my box of tricks. This is like my herpes box of tricks. I have a lot of products in here, as well as the Secret Society Wellness. I have all of our Secret Society Wellness products, like our Rescue Balm, which is great to put on your outbreak. I have our lube, which is the Explode lube, which is an oil-based lube. It also has some great things in here to help us relax when we're intimate. I don't know about you, but a lot of times, like, we can get nervous. So there's some things in here to help us relax, as well as I think it works great. It feels good. So anyways, I have a huge box of tricks. Guys, I have got to go, and I thank you for joining me on this live. I will be live soon. You're laughing. Herpes box of tricks. You're dead. Yeah, I know. I'm my herpes box of tricks. I appreciate you all joining me. If you have any questions on what I talked about, I have everything linked. If you're brand new, I do have a 21-page ebook you can check out. It is free. It talks about outbreak remedies. It talks about lysine. It talks about diet. It talks a lot about what you need to know when you're first diagnosed. You're welcome. You're welcome. Someone here just had a question about dating. I do bring that up on a lot of my lives. I will come back live, I promise, and answer it for you. Also, if you are new, I do have a toolkit on. It's a Tell Your Partner toolkit. There's 14 videos. It's near and dear to my heart because I was 9 months pregnant when I did it. I could barely breathe. I was like, anyways, but it is there. There's a great toolkit for you. And if you are not part of the Secret Society, I would love to see you in our Secret Society, where we have 8 live monthly calls with the community. All right, guys, I see all the follows, so thank you. I am grateful for that. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for spending your day with me. And I will see you all soon. Bye.